Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Pre-Market News and Views by In the Money Stocks. Today is Monday, July 7, 2014. Hope you all had a nice holiday weekend. Again, looking at the charts this morning, we are seeing the S&P 500 E-mini futures trading lower by 5.25 points to 1972.25 per contract. A little bit of a decline here. What you're going to notice, though, is that the dollar-yen chart is trading lower as well. So dollar-yen is falling off a cliff this morning, trading down about 18 cents at the moment. It is catching a little bit of a bid here, and that's common to see lately. Normally, we do see the dollar-yen find some stability around the 9 o'clock, 8:30, 9 o'clock, sometimes 10 o'clock time frame, and that helps to keep the U.S. markets buoyant. But nonetheless, if this does trade lower, expect lower price ahead for the S&P 500 E-mini futures. But right now, futures are trying to stabilize. You can see how they're mimicking the dollar-yen quite a bit, and right now off the worst levels, but again, still down on the session, at least in the pre-market today. So again, we'll keep an eye on that, but watch the dollar-yen very closely. The liquidity that goes into the S&P 500 generally is generated by an upswing in the dollar-yen. So when the dollar-yen is trading lower, that liquidity comes out of the marketplace, and you have less institutions buying S&P 500 E-mini futures. So that's how it works. You won't hear that on CNBC, but you're hearing it here. All right, let's take a look at some stocks in the news today. We have IBM to start off with. Again, IBM has sold, I guess got an approval today to sell their low-end servers to Lenovo, Chinese company. So again, China approved that deal. Stock's trading at 187.77. I have a hard time seeing a lot of upside from here, but if the stock does go up, watch for resistance around 191.60 and also 194.25. So 191.60 and 194.25 are two resistance levels for IBM today. If the stock does trade higher, I'm not sure it will. Again, we're going to take a look at SiMo. This is a semiconductor stock. Stock is having a pretty sizable move here. You can check out the news for yourself. I'm not exactly sure exactly what it was, but nonetheless, stock is trading higher. I'm seeing very good resistance around this $23 level, so I would not be a buyer of Silicon Motion Technology, which is a semiconductor play. Again, I would not be a buyer up here. I would not chase it. If you own it, I would trail the stop loss. If you don't own it, I'm tempted to short it. But again, because it's a new multi-year high here, it makes it a little bit tough. The big resistance level is going to be around 25, but I would not touch this at 23 at all. So be very, very careful here with SiMo. I'm going to try to work out some levels for the chat room this morning for this one, but nonetheless, I will not be a buyer at these levels, and it almost looks like it's a stone cold fade, but it's still a little bit on the tough side with the light volume to fade it. Let's take a look at Archer's Daniels Midland, the ag stock here. Company stock is trading at $45.70. Looks like they're in the news today. If I'm not mistaken, I believe they're buying a Swiss foods company called Wild Flavors for $3 billion. Again, anytime a company makes an acquisition, they generally will pull back. So this is not really pulled back much. It closed at $45.75 on Friday, or Thursday, I should say. But watch this thing to pull back. Archer Daniels a little bit extended here. Again, the chart is not terrible, but I have a hard time seeing the stock go a lot higher with that acquisition, and it is a $3 billion purchase. Let's take a look at Apple. Apple looks like they hired Tagwire's executive to design the iWatch. I don't know if this is that big a deal. I don't know if anybody even cares about an iWatch, but nonetheless, stock is trading at $93.90, closed at $94.03. So again, nothing terrible here for Apple. If the stock did pull back today, if it did pull back, and there's a big if, I would watch the 91.75 level for a bounce intraday. That's the best I have at the moment. Again, the big resistance level is still $95. It could go to $96.10. Nothing really wrong with the stock. There's nothing really wrong with the stock at this point in time, but we'll see how it does trade out going forward. The next one on the list here is going to be this Expedia. It looks like Expedia made a purchase as well today. If I'm not mistaken, it looks like they bought an Australian online travel company, Wotif.com, for $660 million. It's not a big acquisition. The stock has upside to $83.75. So keep that on your radar. Again, anytime a company makes a purchase, they normally will decline. But again, this is not that big of a purchase. So watch 83.75 if it gets there. Should be pretty good resistance for Expedia. Let's take a look at BDSI. Again, this is, I believe, a biotech stock, BioDelivery Services. Stock got some news today that they've had a positive trial. I don't know if we can make too much out of it, but one thing I will say, the stock closed at $11.99, now trading at $13.85. The big resistance level that I'm seeing for this equity today is going to be up around the $14 level, possibly $15. So if you own it, just trail your stop. If you don't own it, I don't know if there's much you want to do with it here until it gets to 15. That's going to be the big resistance level that I can see at the moment. Let's take a look at this GTAT. This is GT Advanced Technologies. Right now the stock is trading at $17.96. It closed at $19.55, so this is a pretty good gap down this morning. A level that I would be watching for major support would be $15.30. Until then, it can go lower. Be very, very careful with this equity. I'm not saying it's going to get down there, but this thing is so overbought. It looks like it's due to peak out here. Watch $15.32. That's going to be the near-term support level for an intraday scalp play. Again, there's nothing to do until it gets down to that level. All right, let's switch gears here. We're going to move over to the gold market. Gold is getting hit a little bit today. Gold is down $4.80 to $1,315 an ounce. Again, we'll go to the GLD, which is a good proxy for trading gold futures. And this right now is holding steady at 127, so nothing terrible. It closed at 127.16, but gold does need to pull back a little bit more. It has had a great move, and it has started to consolidate, so we'll see if that just continues. But right now, really nothing terrible with gold, but nothing great either, as it does need to pull back a little bit more. Now, light sweet crude is lower today by 19 cents to 103.87 a barrel. We're going to move over to the USO, which is a good proxy for trading light sweet crude. And again, a big level I have for the USO. I'm not sure where it's going to go. Right now it's trading at $38.25, but a big level that I do have is around $37.40 if it does get down there. I'm not sure it will do that. Again, it's at $38.25. My big support level is $37.40. So we'll see if that does move down to that lower price. But either way, you slice it or dice it. That's what I'm seeing today. We'll see where it goes. Again, oil has pulled back quite nicely over the past week, but it's not a huge pullback, and it could still be setting up for another move higher. So be very, very careful with the oil market. Even though oil has pulled back a little bit, it really isn't a dreadful pullback or any kind of a major sell-off. It's really just a small, subtle pullback. And again, the USO has very, very good support at $37.40 should it trade down to that level. All right, everyone, I'm going to leave it here short and sweet. Again, I hope everybody had a great holiday today. Volume trends could be a little bit on the lighter side as people come back from holiday, and that's generally what we call a holiday hangover. So we'll see if that is the case. But keep the dollar-yen on full focus here. That's going to be the most important chart to watch. If this starts to go lower, that will affect the S&P 500 E-mini futures. That should take them lower as well. If this goes higher and starts to move up, then the futures will be stabilized, and they'll probably start to move up also. So we'll see where it goes. We'll see how it trades out. Again, I want to wish you all a great trading day, and we'll see you on the charts.